This is the Rays POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Tampa Bay Rays, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Tampa Bay Rays POSTCAST, your spot for instant Rays reaction after every single game. My name is Jonathan Shields, and the Rays just took a big gut punch. The Rays had the game won, and the pitching really, I won't say let them down because they held the Blue Jays to one run, but the Blue Jays walked 10 times tonight. That's why the Rays lost. Plain and simple, right there. Just brutal. We're going to break it all down, and we're going to talk about how this was a big-time gut punch for the Rays, and I'll be interested to see how they respond. Rays still 4-2 during this AL East road trip, so it's got to take the wins as you can get them. The walks, we've talked about it, killed the Rays today. Really the only reason, I won't say the only reason, the Rays had chances to extend their lead in the 7th, 8th, and 9th and couldn't do it. That's another reason why. But and we're going to talk about the Rays had their chances before extras. But first, we have to talk about how the Rays were really not set up to go into extras today.
This is what you'll be talking about.
I'm sure Aaron Brooks is a great guy. To be completely honest, I forgot he was on the roster. He's not a major league pitcher. It is what it is. He has a career like 6 ERA. He's not a major league pitcher. He's not going to be on the Rays roster anytime soon. But this isn't some like Kevin Cash managerial disaster. The Rays literally had no one else to pitch. No one else to pitch. And their entire bullpen was depleted. What really killed them was Brian Baker being terrible in the 8th inning for the first time this year. I won't say the first time, but for the first time in a while. Brian Baker came into the game only allowing 4 walks on the year. He gave up 4 walks in the 8th inning. The Blue Jays tied the game without getting a hit. That's how you lose. And the Rays let the Blue Jays not win the game. The Rays lost the game, which was frustrating because the Rays are still playing some good baseball, playing very well defensively. Like tonight, they're playing very well defensively. But yeah, the Rays lost this game by allowing the free runs, and then not to mention, Aaron Brooks had no command on any of his pitches besides one pitch. Don Valcher, he's a major league hitter. Like, all these guys are major league hitters. If you keep throwing high fastballs, eventually he's going to hit one. And he destroyed one for a grand slam, and that's going to be our turning point.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
The Rays really backed into a corner tonight. You can't throw Jesse Schultz because he's going to start tomorrow. It's tough because Griffin Jax not going to go more than 5 innings. You really needed Brian Baker to complete that 8th inning. And look, probably does Sulcer only pitch the 9th then? I mean, probably. The 7th, Garrett Clevenger, your 2 best relievers not being able to get out of their innings really hurt the Rays tonight because that Kevin Kelly, who's supposed to pitch the 8th, now has to come in and finish the 7th. Baker, who's supposed to pitch the 9th, now has to come in and pitch the 8th. And then since he can't get out of the 8th, Cole Sulcer has to come in and pitch the last out of the 8th and then complete the 9th. And that leaves you with Aaron Brooks. So this isn't some Kevin Cash mistake. This isn't some anything like that. This was the Rays were backed up against the wall. They were not set up well for extras for 2 reasons. 1, because the bullpen didn't do his job. The 2 best bullpen arms for the Rays didn't do their job. And 2, the offense did not step up in the big moments in this game. The Rays had golden opportunities in the 8th and 9th inning to 1, extend their lead, and to 2, grab the lead back, and they couldn't do it. In the 8th, they had the bases loaded, and Fraley popped out to the shortstop. Not great. On the first pitch, popped out to the shortstop. But in the 9th, you have Chandler Simpson up with the runner on 1st and 3rd, and the Rays had 2 cracks here with the runners in scoring position. Yeah, not great. But yeah, look, you can't blame Aaron Brooks. It's an impossible situation to go in. You don't pitch in 2 years, and you're coming in against the defending AL champions and trying to get a save. I mean, it's brutal. It's brutal. But you know what else is brutal? And the only stat that really matters in this game is the Rays walking 10 batters. 10. You know how many hits the Blue Jays had? 6. You know how many base runners they had? About 1 million, because the Rays cannot get out of their own way. It's very easy to be negative, but we have to remember where the Rays are at. The Rays are 5-1 against Toronto this year. That is unbelievable. But we got to talk about how this is. We're going to skip ahead to talk about how this is a gut punch for the Rays. How are they going to respond? I'm going to be really interested. This is the first time in a while the Rays got punched in the mouth, and they got to pick themselves up off the mat and go win a series against the Marlins, where you're going to be facing Sandy Alcantara. He's looking like Cy Young Sandy again. Not quite that good, but definitely a step up from last year. Tough. It's tough. It's tough. The bullpen's been so good so that, you can't really be disappointed in the bullpen. because they've been so good. They were due for some regression like this. But, man, the offense had their chances to put this game out of reach and to retake the lead, and they couldn't do it. And, yes, we're going to look at Aaron Brooks. We're going to look at the walks. But the walks are the number one thing you're going to look at this game and be like, man, that's a tough one. The other two are the missed opportunities the Rays had, which was unfortunate because the Rays needed every single run they could get, to say the least. But if you guys are in here, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Again, this is a frustrating loss. Everyone should be frustrated, but I mean, the Rays still have won 16 out of 19. I mean, they're still just on an unbelievable stretch right now. So we got to take. I'm not saying to take it off. Take it with a grain of salt. But this is a good comment I want to get to. Really good comment by RP Jets 6392. I believe his first comment. So shout out to him. Why was Engler sent down for Brooks? This is a great question. I think went under the radar. The Rays sent down Engler so he can be stretched out into a starter. That's why Engler was not available today. Because the Rays need starter depth without Ryan Pepio. I don't know how much they love Schultens. They want Engler to be stretched out a little bit. So that's a great question. That's why Engler is not up right now. Yeah, if you want to look at that, if why you're stretching out Engler to starter as a reason to be mad, fine. I'm not saying anyone is, but yeah, that's a great call. That normally Engler goes in there and he's a little bit more field than Brooks, but I mean, yeah, just in an impossible spot to put a guy that hasn't pitched and who, first of all, has never recorded a save in his MLB career, and he's been pitching in the majors for parts of season since 2014. Yeah, it's just tough. It's a really tough spot to put him into. So I'm not going to sit here and blame him. But anytime you're not in the strike zone and pitchers know you only have one pitch you have feel for, and that one pitch is sitting like 91, I mean, yeah, it's going to get blasted. It is going to get blasted, to say the least. But we're going to talk more about the chances that the Rays have. We're going to really dive in to how the Rays walks kind of cost them. We're going to look ahead to the Rays series against the Marlins right after this. This episode is brought to you by Kalshi. Baseball season is here, and now you can trade on every game with Kalshi. On Kalshi, you can trade every single game. So, for example, if you think the Rays are going to get a bounce back right now, according to Kalshi, the Rays have a 59% chance to beat the Marlins. So you can trade for $10. And the best part about Kalshi, you can buy in or out. So you're trading against peers in a live market, meaning there's no house. And it's a probability change. You can buy in or out of the position. For a limited time, download the Kalshi app and use code LOCKEDON to get $10 when you trade 10. Kalshi, Kalshi. Trade on anything. 18 plus only. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. Event contract trading involves risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Prices, values, and available markets may differ from those mentioned. For more information, see kalshi.com/regulatory. This episode is also brought to you by Rocket Money. If you ever open your bank account and thought, where'd all my money go? You're not alone. Keeping track of subscriptions, spending, and bills can get overwhelming fast. That's where Rocket Money comes in, helping you take control of your finances. It allows you to set budgets, get alerts, and stay on top of upcoming bills. It just makes everything feel more organized and gives you a clearer picture of your finances day to day. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps you find and cancel unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps you lower your bills so you can grow your savings. Let Rocket Money help you reach your financial goals faster. Join rocketmoney.com/lockedon. That's rocketmoney.com/lockedon. Again, if you guys are in the live, please make sure to leave a like and comment. We'll be getting to all your guys' comments toward the end of this. I love the support that the POSTCAST has been getting. We've been doing great on likes. So again, guys, it really helps out a lot if you guys like. And like I said, I love seeing all the new faces that we've been having in joining the live. I always love for the OGs. The OGs are what make the Rays POSTCAST so great. But I always love seeing the new people hopping in and seeing some new comments as well. So if you guys are one of those new people watching, please make sure to leave a comment, even if you're watching the replay for the first time. So let's break down this game a little bit more. Let's talk about the walks, which brings us to the 8th inning. Obviously, look, the Rays were due, specifically some Rays bullpen guys specifically were due for some regression. Brian Baker was one of those guys. Now, his regression was a little bit more than I thought. I didn't think his regression was going to look like 4 walks. But look, the Rays, anytime you allow 4 walks in an inning and only allow 1 run, that's pretty good business. You take that. But look, I'm going to say it again. This loss is not on Aaron Brooks. So before everyone gets all angry, I mean, look, your job as a manager, and like I'm not blaming Kevin Cash. Kevin Cash literally did not have another option to go to on a bullpen. But so again, but it's to put your guys in the best position to succeed. The players before Brooks did not put him in a position to succeed with Clevenger not getting out of the sixth or seventh, and then Jax Baker not getting out of the eighth. That's what kind of made Brooks in that tough spot. And then the Rays not capitalizing offensively really all game. Look, Dylan Cease is really good. Like, he is really freaking good. We saw that firsthand. But Griffin Jax, man, he had 4 walks, but he still went 5 innings, didn't allow any runs. The Rays turned 4 double plays behind him. Rays defense was definitely behind Griffin Jax. And when Griffin Jax was in relief, when he would have these tough outings, he wasn't able to find these right out of him. He wouldn't get the double play. Since he's been starting, it feels like he's had some more breaks go his way. At the end of the day, he put up a 0 through 5 innings. That's all you could really ask for. So I'm interested to see his development as this continues to be an ongoing thing. So as let's go ahead and look ahead to the game tomorrow. Again, the Rays still 14 games over 500, 2 games up on the Yankees. And I'll be really interested to see how the Rays respond because, man, this was really one of the biggest gut punches they've taken since losing the first 2 to the Cardinals. Those 2 were some gut punches. But tomorrow, the Rays will have Jesse Schultens going, I'm pretty sure, against Jason Junk. So Jason Junk for the Marlins is having his best season of his career. It was kind of a journeyman guy with the Angels and then the Brewers and was kind of all over the place. Settled in Miami last year, had a good end to the season. So far this year, 2-3 with a 3.25 ERA. He's a 6.2 righty. Last time out against the Nationals, gave up 4 earned over 6 innings. Doesn't walk a ton of guys, only 10 walks on the season. Only 2 walks his last 11 innings. Really good at limiting base runners, gets those soft contacts. He went through a stretch in April over 11 innings, not allowing a single run. So he's been really, really good, pitching really well right now. The Rays are going to have their hands full. They'll counter with Jesse Schultens. Interested to see if he pitches behind an opener, what the Rays do there, but expect Schultens to get the bulk innings for the Rays, and let's see how they respond, man. This can be, again, I'll be really interested to see if the Rays can bounce back and win a series because everyone keeps talking about how they're waiting for the Rays regression to hit, and the Rays are going to regress. They're not going to win 110 games. I hate to break people's hearts, but what are they going to regress to? That's what we're going to see, and hopefully hopefully this isn't this isn't the start of some regression. Hopefully this is just a blip on the radar and the Rays continue to keep on winning series. That game is Friday. The Rays are off tomorrow. Rays finally get an off day, and that was part of the reason why the Rays had no pitchers. The Rays haven't had a scheduled off day in almost 2 weeks. So it's kind of everything going up against the Rays. The Rays really need to win this game. I guess I don't want to say in regulation, but in regulation, but it didn't work out that way for the Rays. But let's get to the comments as we will start with the Cuban Mamba. He says, disappointing loss for the Rays tonight. Can't win them all. Off day tomorrow. Start a 3-game homestand with the Marlins. My girlfriend and I beat the game on Saturday. Hope you enjoy. I hope everyone gets out to the Trop. Unfortunately, you guys can see I've been all over the place. Finally back in my normal setup, but I'm back on the road this weekend. But I'll be definitely trying to get back to Rays games. Don't worry, we'll still have Rays POSTCAST. Rays POSTCAST is not going anywhere. As we go to Jose Rodriguez, says, I know we're still in first, but why we got to lose when the Yankees lose? Yeah, speaking of the Yankees, they got swept by the Brewers, and I believe Baltimore took 2 out of 3 from them. If I'm not mistaken, as Baltimore's creeping back toward 500, as Baltimore did take 2 out of 3 from New York. So, yeah, guys, it's a long year. The Rays played their 41st or 42nd game today. There's so much season left, So don't get caught up on the Rays losing today as well as the Yankees losing. Yeah, it's tough. As we go to John Farva, I believe one of our new commenters says, assuming there's no one left in the bullpen, so the career 6.48 ERA guy that hasn't pitched almost two years. Otherwise, yeah, not sure the best situation. Obviously not the best situation, but the bullpen, as Douglas Bautista talks about here, was completely depleted. Very tough outing, I believe. Tough. As Aaron, the Bucks fan, says, he's also going to the game Saturday. So that'll be great to have a Rays POSTCAST meetup. One time I could get to a game with you guys. We go to Hannah Holmes back for the first time. She's staying. Aaron Brooks, bullpen was definitely cooked, but definitely frustrating. It is what it is. Can't let one loss cloud the bright spots on the road trip. It's exactly how I was feeling. The Rays cannot let those cloud what was still a 4-2 road trip. As Argenis showing some love to the POSTCAST. Argenis, always in the postcast, always a lot of love for our genus. As we're getting to disappointed loss, but we have been on fire. Looking forward to staying on top moving forward. I am too. Yeah, I am too. Let's go to Ryan Geis. The second straight game where Junior was lifted defensively for Williamson. How long do you think he'll be in the doghouse after his bad night Tuesday? It's a great question. A great question. I was surprised they lifted him because I thought the punishment would be not starting him today. And I'm not even sure this was necessarily a punishment. This is like, look, you're not where we need you to be right now. Once you gain some of our trust back, you'll be back in those spots. And look, I thought it was tough because now Junior's spot comes up in the lineup. Credit Ben Williamson, just a pro hitter. He needs to be playing more. He does. Ben Williamson needs to be playing almost every day. That's all I'll leave on that. As we continue through, Mike is talking about, is there any news on Uceda? Not that I've heard. Hopefully he's back soon. The Rays desperately need him. As go Jason Charlotte, I believe another one of our new commenters. Again, love all the new commenters in here. He says, my dog is still mad at me for screaming at the TV. Yeah, we've all been there. Too legit. The quit talks about you can't win them all. Still winnable game for the Rays, but again, every game is winnable for the Rays this year. They are legit. Yeah, I hopefully agree. Let's go to Carp 845. This is a bounce back to the most important thing. The next series will show the Rays are legit this year. Yeah, I mean, look, I don't know if the next series specifically is going to show if the Rays are legit or not. But yeah, I mean, the Rays have a huge series after they played the Orioles, who started to play better. Then they play the Yankees and the Bronx. So we've talked about how this stretch against the AL East is, or May is one of their first big tests. So we'll see how the Rays stack up through it. As Jay Stroll talks about, a Ronda bobblehead. I love the bobbleheads. You guys can see behind me if you're watching the replay or live. I got all the bobbleheads in the back. Definitely a Yandy had a great one earlier this year. So yeah, hopefully everyone can get to the game to get the Ronda bobblehead. So before we get out of here, let's look at that schedule again, because the Rays get 3 against Miami, 3 against Baltimore, both at home. Then they go 2 New York for 3 and 2 Baltimore for 3. Just a monstrous kind of end to May against the AL East. Then they play the Angels, Detroit, Miami, and then Boston again. And then they go out to California toward the middle of June. So, yeah, it's not going to get any easier. The Rays have been stacking up these wins for this kind of stretch. And hopefully the Rays will be able to come through it. Remember, off day tomorrow. Enjoy the off day. I'll be missing talking to you guys. We'll be back on Friday breaking down, hopefully, what is a Rays win against the Marlins. Again, if you guys are in the live, listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, please make sure to follow, subscribe wherever you are. If you're listening on YouTube live or the replay, please make sure to leave a like. Helps us out a ton. And please check to make sure you subscribe. We've continued to gain a ton of subscribers as the Rays continue to do well. And again, hopefully this is just a blip on the radar and the Rays can respond and start bouncing back and racking up those wins again starting this weekend against the Marlins. So we'll be here to break down every single win. See you guys then.